If I substitute x2 as 1, x2 as 1, so here this plus sf2 and minus sf2 will be cancelled. I will have the equation as sf1 plus x1 into sg1 minus sf1. This is corresponding to minus 10 degrees centigrade is going to be the gaseous entropy Sg2, which is corresponding to the temperature of condenser, which is 25 degrees centigrade. So let me rub this TS diagram so that we will be able to calculate. Now let us substitute the values, because all the values are given in the property table. Corresponding to minus 10 degrees centigrade we need to get, corresponding to minus, which is the evaporated temperature of minus 10 degree, we have to write the liquid fluid entropy. Liquid entropy is 1.3009 plus x1 we need to calculate, and Sg1, that is vapor entropy, is 6.2285 minus the liquid entropy, which is 1.3009. This is at minus 10 degree centigrade, is equal to, let me clean, is equal to the Sg2. This, that is the second point, which is dry saturated. So Sg2 is the vapor entropy corresponding to the condenser temperature. So corresponding to the condenser temperature of 25 degrees centigrade, we have to observe or write the vapor entropy, which is 5.7904, which is the vapor entropy corresponding to the temperature of condenser, which is 25 degrees centigrade. So I think all the values are known to us except this x, so we can easily calculate what is x1. So if you simplify this, you will have the dryness fraction value as 0.91. So we have calculated the quality of the refrigerant. Now the next step is we need to calculate what is the enthalpy H1. So if you look at it, the only unknown parameter is x1. So that x1 we have calculated as 0.91. So we can easily substitute the value of this quality of the refrigerant in the enthalpy equation, and we can easily find out the value of enthalpy. So if you simplify this value, you will have the enthalpy value as 1477.19 kilojoules per kg. So we have now calculated the quality of the ammonia refrigerant and also the enthalpy of at the point number 1. So the next step is we have to calculate what is H2 and HF3. Now if you recall the TS diagram, let me once again draw the TS diagram, temperature versus entropy diagram. So these are the two pressure limits, which is the condenser pressure and this is the evaporator pressure. So 1 to 2 is a compression process, 2 to 3 is condensation, and 3 to 4 is expansion, and 4 to 1 is evaporation. Now point 2 is any property. When we read along the point 2, it is going to be a vapor property or gaseous property, and any point property that we are going to read along the saturation liquid line, it's going to be a liquid property or the fluid property. Now point 2 is exactly lying on the saturation curve. So if I write the equation for point 2, H2 is going to be HF2 plus X2 into Hg2 minus HF2, corresponding to the temperature of condenser, which is 25 degree centigrade. This is what is 25, because the condenser temperature is 25 degree centigrade. Now since it is exactly lying on the saturation vapor line, it is having the dryness fraction value as 1, which is X, the dryness fraction X value as 1. So if I substitute the X value as 1, this will be cancelled. So my H2 will be Hg2, that is vapor enthalpy corresponding to 25 degrees centigrade. So I can directly write from the table which is given, the value of H2 can be written as the vapor enthalpy at 25 degrees centigrade. So at 25 degrees centigrade, this is vapor enthalpy, 25 degrees centigrade. So the vapor enthalpy can be written as H2, 1626.6 kilojoules per kg. So we have also found out the value of H2 as well after compression, the dry saturated enthalpy. Now the only unknown parameter that we need to find is the HF3, which is the fluid enthalpy. Now after condensation, the refrigerant is entirely converted into liquid. We know that it is going to be an isenthalpic process, so H3 and H4 should be same. So we can, since it is a liquid enthalpy, so corresponding to the same 25 degrees centigrade, we can directly calculate. That means let me also write down that equation, because along the saturation liquid line the value of X is going to be 0. Now if I write that equation for H3, I can say that H3 is going to be, let us say HF3 here, HF3 which is given in this equation. So now I will write it as H3. H3 is equal to HF3 plus X3 into Hg3 minus HF3. This is the equation. Now we know that any property that is measured along the saturation liquid line will be the liquid property and fluid property, and we should also know that any property which is lying exactly on the saturation liquid line, the value of X will be 0. So if this value, because if it is lying on the saturation vapor line, this X is going to be 0. So if this is going to be 0, the entire Hg3 minus HF3 is going to be 0. So the value of H3 is going to be HF3, which is corresponding to 25 degrees centigrade. So I can write the value of HF3 directly by getting the value from the table which is given. Corresponding to the 25 degrees centigrade, I have to observe the fluid or liquid enthalpy. So corresponding to 25 degrees centigrade, so I should write the liquid enthalpy, which is liquid enthalpy corresponding to 25 degrees centigrade is 460.82 kilojoules per kg. I think we have found all the values of enthalpy. Now we need to simply substitute in the COP equation and get the answer. So let me once again write the COP equation, which is COP of the vapor compression refrigeration cycle is H, the refrigerating effect, H1 minus HF3 divided by H2 minus H1. So we have calculated all the values. So I will write the COP of refrigeration is equal to, the value of H1 is going to be 1477.19 minus the value of HF3 is going to be 460.82 divided by the value of H2 is going to be 1626.6 minus, and H1 is going to be 1477.19. So if you simplify, you will have an answer of 6.8. So the COP of the refrigeration system corresponding to the operating temperature of 25 degree and minus 10 degree centigrade is 6.8. This is the final answer. So I hope you have understood this problem. So we have drawn the process on a TS diagram and on a pH diagram and calculated all the enthalpy values to find the COP, and we have also found out the quality of dryness fraction of refrigerant and the COP of refrigerant. So similar types of problems are available in the textbook. So I request all the students to please try to solve at least 2 to 3 problems in the vapor compression refrigeration systems, so that it will be easy for you to write your exams well. Thank you for listening.